Guys, it's Navarro, head trader Penny Stocks Club 13, and here's a quick trade recap and watch list video for Friday, January 21st, 2022. So before I get going, quick disclaimer: I'm not telling you what to buy, what to sell. You trade at your own risk. I'm merely making some suggestions of where I think the market's gonna go and what direction some particular stocks are gonna take. So that said, let's get right to it. So right now we're looking at the SPY, and if you saw my last watch list video, which I think I mislabeled for 1/17/2022, it would be January 17th, 2022, from the forum, I did mention that the SPY was gonna break down, that it might probably go all the way down to the 180 SMA, and lo and behold, look at what it did. So here we are, guys. Might get a technical bounce, or we might just simply gap down and then come back and refill that gap. So it's hard to determine where the market's gonna go. We react to it. So if you saw the chat room quiet today, it was probably because everything was selling off. If you notice, most stocks were going down. It was hard to get bullish on a lot of stuff. So we're gonna talk about that when we look at the watch list. Okay, and how to determine what stocks to play when the market is going down. So let's get right to it, guys. I'm gonna review some of the trades that we had so far. EBFM. So those of you following the small account challenge, swing trading has been a little difficult, but we've managed to get some returns out of it. Have we gotten all or the maximum return? No, definitely not. But if you keep in mind that after hours trading has been quite dead, literally there's very few stocks moving after hours right now at this particular time, but that's about to change in my opinion. It's been a while since I've seen more than 5 or 10 stocks move up over 20%, and we've gotten that in the past couple of weeks, so that's great to see. Now what we need to see is follow through in the after hours market. So once we start getting to, I want to say maybe 3 to 5 after hour movers, then we'll be good. And the only thing that we need to do so that we can be in a good position for a swing trade is wait for those afternoon setups. And on my part, I've been failing to do that a little better. I just need to be a little more patient. Even though the patience has been there, it needs to be a little better. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about EBFM. I believe this is the first one we started with, the 300 challenge. So we entered right here at 0.42, I believe, yesterday, which was Wednesday, January 19th, 2020, and it did give us this huge move, guys. It might look like it's nothing here in the chart, but if you get your trendline tool here, that's a 22% move. That is a significant move. That's profit-taking move, and you know, unfortunately, I cannot control the way the market works. Sometimes I'm expecting a smaller move. Maybe I was expecting a move like this and then a follow-through day for the swing trade. So let me make this a little better. Activate this. So this candle, this is what I was expecting today, right? This was what I was expecting on this particular day. So I was expecting a small move just to come and test that 50 EMA and then break above it today, but it just decided to go and on this day, and that changes the perspective, right? But either way, it was a good swing trade pattern. Problem is, like I had mentioned, is that after hours trading has been a little dead. So this is a good 50 EMA, 50-20 EMA compression where you got the price just kind of bouncing in between the 50 and the 20. You get the 50 and the 20 kind of compressing the price, right? So just think about when you squeeze a balloon, you squeeze it right in the middle, and it's either gonna pop to the upside or it's gonna pop to the downside. You don't know where that balloon is gonna pop. You're just squeezing it and it's gonna pop somewhere. And of course, what we're looking for here is because it establishes a base. When you're trading this kind of oversold patterns, you want to look for something that has a base, right? Where you have support, 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 where you're getting this little curling action. You don't want to trade stuff that is going in this direction, that is going like this, and then all of a sudden makes just one little flip. So what you want to see is you want to see that downtrend, you want to see a base, and then you want to see a possible reversal, right? You want to see that possible reversal. So those are the three stages that we're looking for. We're looking for the downtrend, the consolidation, and then the reversal. So right here, that's what we have. We have the downtrend, we have that consolidation, and now we're looking for that reversal. Now keep in mind that it's not always the case that they're gonna reverse, right? They need a lot of momentum, they need a lot of buying pressure, and then they need some of the people who are shorting it from way up here. So if we look at the bigger picture, we need people who have been shorting it from way up here to start covering, and that creates that huge buying pressure, right? So that's why oversold patterns are really good. And now those of you that don't mind swing trading, buying and holding, and you have a lot of risk tolerance, then if you can buy at the bottom, sell, buy at the bottom, sell, you know, that's a good, these are great patterns to trade, right? So you can be holding here, holding here, holding here, and then trade the pop, hold here and then trade the pop. I can't do that for some reason. Again, I gotta look for the momentum, and I gotta look for a way to be making money on a day-to-day basis, right? I'm a little more active on the swing trades and of course the day trades, but there's ways that you can do this if you have the patience and the knowledge. So is this trade dead? Absolutely not, guys. There has been a lot of bigger candles right now with volume picking up. So if we're looking for something to happen here, I would say wait for the break over the 50 EMA and then wait for confirmation over this high, right? Or it depends. I mean, we still haven't seen anything. For all we know, it can still keep on going. But if we get another candle in between that price level, and then we get in between the 50 and the 20, if we get a candle like this, let me reiterate that, and then we get a little breakout. Now this is a good swing trade pattern. You can enter here, hold, and then look for that huge pop, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that reversal, keeping in mind that we have a gap fill play, right? So we got to start taking profits at some point. But we already made some money on this one, and now we're looking for it to set up. We got this little cup, and maybe we get a little handle and then take it higher, right? So EBFM, guys, again, another one, a good swing trade, and the first one that gave us a little bit of returns for the 300 challenge. Now let's go ahead and look at the current one, AMST. So if you, like I said, the market was crashing, the IWM, the SPY, everything was crashing across the board. It was a risk off type of day where you don't want to be risking too much money because of the market conditions. So with that said, AMST was not a big volume trade, but it was a better volume trade. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. So we had an increase in volume on this spike and rejection. Then we got the price bouncing around. So this is why I like this. And then today had a little bit of news with a partnership with the ARC investment group, which is the Cathy Woods Innovation Foundation. You know, and the volume profile was not the best, but it was better, right? Because what we want to see is relative volume start increasing, and that's what happened today. So if we look at the trade pattern during the day, every time it would sell off, it would get bought back up. Sell off, it get bought. And you see the pattern, right? Every time it would sell off, it would get bought back up, and that was a good sign. I believe I added right here on this candle. this is where I added a little bit in the afternoon, and because I like the way it was trading. Plus, if we compare this to, or let's just go with the IWM, right, which is a small cap ETF. This was going down while AMST was just trading sideways. So that was telling me that investors were not going to let this drop with the market. It was trading sideways. It was not respecting where the market was going. So that was a good sign. Even though it had lower volume, I was liking it, and I was keeping an eye on that. So that's the reason that I decided to load up more in this one. And that's part of growing an account, knowing where to invest and take a higher risk. And like I mentioned before, that's the difference between me and those that don't have that experience on where to go big and where to kind of go with a smaller sizing, right? So this one, again, it was not the best setup to go in so big. It is a smaller account, so I'm okay with the amount that I'm trading with. I understand the outcome if it doesn't work my way. But just look at this close in the afternoon. While everything else was selling off, everything else was just on the big downtrend in the afternoon, this was actually getting an increase in volume, and it just kept going up and up and up. So it was closing with strength, and that's what we want to see, right? A very strong close for a swing trade. So this doesn't mean 100% guaranteed that it's gonna gap up and keep on going tomorrow, but usually we want a stock to start doing that. And if AMST is the one that's gonna, we're gonna be one of the first ones that's gonna have that kind of gap play on a big close in the afternoon, then this might be the kickstart to swing trades for small caps. And why do we want swing trades on small caps? Because if you have a small account, then we're looking for swing trades so that we could avoid the PDT rule. And the more we can avoid the PDT rule, the better it is for us to commit to some trades. So that's one of the things that I like about small accounts, is because it keeps me honest and it keeps me real. As far as if I'm gonna have to commit to a swing trade, I will do it understanding that I don't have day trades. I need to commit to the trade. I need to make sure that it has the potential and an opportunity for us to make some good returns on the swing trade. And that's why I like to continue growing small accounts. It's just basically like a psychological maintenance for me. It keeps me real as far as committing to the trades that I see value in, and this is one of them. So AMST, guys, it's working right now. I did tell you I was going to go all the way to 140. That was the profit target. It did go up there. If you took profits, perfect. Again, like I mentioned, some swing trades might become day trades, and if they do, take profits if you have a day trade available. If you did, congratulations. Then maybe tomorrow you can trade it again. So AMST, guys, just a good trade, and I'm still holding some of it. Now let's get to the watch list. First, I have AUTO Auto. This one, just a huge move after some news came in about having the Tesla Model 3 subscription program where you can go online and I guess subscribe for a car or something like that. Tesla, a huge company, did give a lot of the games back. So what we're looking for is basically just a break of this resistance here around 370, 375, and a move up to today's high. That's all we're looking for. Let me get the right tool. That would be like about a 20% return if we catch the entire move. 17%. Quick day trade might continue going. I mean, this one, look at the volume. There was absolutely no volume, and then look at that huge move. So squeeze potential is there as long as the volume profile fits the trade. This one, keep it on watch, guys. I already have some alerts there, so be ready for that one. ECFL, same thing, another very low volume play. So I might trade them, I might not. Again, the volume profile isn't there, but you know, there's very few gapping plays or some very few movers after hours. So I had to include this one just because of the fact that it is selling off. And again, this one doesn't fit that oversold pattern where it starts trading sideways, but sometimes you get that quick move, and this one has a good 30% chance to the 180 level. Low float and huge mover, as we can see here. So maybe just a quick pop, a quick day trade if it gives the opportunity and the volume is there. But again, not my first pick, and not something that I'm telling you to go already and look at it and be ready for it. You know, if it gives us the opportunity, the pattern is there, the volume is there, then we'll go for it. And EPT. So again, this one is one that fits that little profile where it already based out and it's trying to find a reversal. So right now you can see that oversold pattern. Then you can see the base right here. The base is basically support, right? It's finding support, it's finding the bottom. It's trying to reverse. Did pop, came back down, and now it's in between that 15, that 20 EMA. So we're looking for it to break out, maybe an entry on the top of this candle with a move towards that 35-cent level for about a 20% return. It could happen in one day. If it gives us a huge pop, we see a huge increase in volume here, then maybe this is, if it closes strong, maybe this is good for a 2-day hold and that continuation higher for maybe more than 30-40%. Again, it all depends on market conditions and of course the stock's condition as well. QTT, oversold pattern, guys, and you can see how it's starting to round. It's starting to make that little U-turn. So again, this is part of those reversal patterns. You get the oversold, you get the base, and then you get the reversal. So now on this one, I don't want it to break above that 20 EMA at the 295 level, somewhere there, for entry, and then a pop to the 4 level, which is very possible with this oversold stocks. Now, why am I interested right now? Well, if you look at this little pattern, we got an increase in volume, we got decreasing volume as it's coming lower, we got candles getting smaller, and now we get volume in, made a bigger move. But again, I think this sell-off is more part of the entire market selling off rather than this stock itself selling off. So that's something that we gotta look for in the morning. Sometimes when the market is going down, stocks move down that day, but the following day they got up on its own and they kind of regain their normal structure, and then we can continue trading them. Again, that does not mean it's gonna happen. If the market gaps down, maybe this will be gapping down and we'll just leave it alone. So we gotta look at those market conditions as well. AFI, same thing, guys, oversold, and this one's one of those weird examples where it pops and then it just takes off, right? So there are some exceptions to the rule, and this is one of them. But you can see that 20 EMA bounce, so maybe this is one that will not fill the gap and it's just going to continue going. Again, they do not need to fill the gap, but there are gap fills are plays that we can play. In this case, if it breaks above that 240 level, which is, it's been resistance here and here. If it breaks over that 240 level, then I'll be interested for a move higher and a potential return to this previous rejection. That would give us a good 16% return, guys, on a possible swing trade. So perfect scenario would be something like this, a candle like this, a close like this, entry, hold, and then that second day continuation for profit taking. That would be the ideal play. That would be the ideal play, right? So we'll see. Keep it in mind. HEPS. Some of these you're not gonna find on the watch list. They've been there before. If you go down to previous days, you'll find them there. The entries and exits have not changed, so make sure that you reset your alerts. HEPS. Okay, now what's going on here? Let me go ahead and clear all this alerts. So oversold, came back up, volume profile increasing, as you can see down here. Take that level 2 off. We got a bounce off the 9 EMA. So now what we're looking for, I would like for it to break the 2 level and maybe enter at the open of this previous candle if tomorrow it gives us a good volume profile. And then I would like to see that push to this resistance up here, right? So that's what I would like to see if we do get that kind of move. That's a good 20% return, guys, on a good swing trade opportunity. It sets up LODE. Okay, guys, so LODE, you can see the pattern here. Based, broke above the 50, got rejected, came back up, and now you can see that price being compressed between the 50 and the 20. So we are looking for that explosion out of those EMAs and a move to the 2 level where there was previous support, guys. So again, this is a way for you to find some of those setups, set your entries, right? So we want to enter around here, around the 165, $1.65 level. So what we can do is we can use this drawing to create an alert and alert us when it's trading above that. Okay, and then of course we have our first profit target will be this previous rejection with a final take profit up here. So another setup, and hopefully we get something like this, guys. So let me show you just what I'm trying to get here. If we get something like this tomorrow, this would be our entry. That would be a good close, and then we want to see that huge continuation, that follow through, right, with follow through volume. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we want to see here. We just need to let it set up, and this would be preferable if it starts happening in the afternoon, just like it happened with AMST. Now I didn't want to leave this one out. The next one, BBIG, it's let me go ahead and draw some technicals here, guys. So we see that rejection there, rejection there, rejection there. You know, so this level, we know that it was gonna be resistance. It did go above it for a bit, but came back down. Now let's talk about where it's at right now. So we got resistance, 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 and now look at where it closed just right below it. So if it can hold tomorrow, open over 4, and I want to say if it can break above this candle's high, maybe we want to enter here, and you know, maybe the short squeeze might continue. So this is something that we got to keep in mind. This might just be that flag pattern pullback. Let me show you what I mean. So this is your pull, right? And it's got this weird looking flag pattern, but again, not the most perfect pattern, but you can see that pullback. This is just basically a pullback. Now what else can we see here? If we look at volume, we got, let me make this a little bigger. So we got increasing volume as it's moving up, and on the pullback we got decreasing volume, which is what we want to see, right? If you've seen those videos, that's what we want to see on the pullback. Now what's wrong about this is that the pullback was just a little too much in my opinion. I would have loved to see this one kind of bounce off of that 4 level, close a little stronger, but again, we got to keep in mind market conditions today. So that's why I believe this candle could have been better, but the market just really was just the downward action was too much for a lot of stocks. And if tomorrow again these stocks can recover, they open more normally, then we can start looking into going long on BBIG. Guys, that is it for me. I hope this helps you out. See you on the next one.